I want to thank you for joining us. We're going to be talking today, giving you an overview of self-paced learning using subscriptions. And our agenda is to talk about what a subscription is, and then how a subscription is billed. I'll give you a big picture of what the subscription process looks like from the beginning of what you create all the way to the end of what an end user sees and how they use that subscription. We will take a look at what that subscription assignment looks like for that end user, and then we'll go back over and look at how to create the subscription profile, assign that subscription to a user, and then add a couple of extras like a learning path and filters onto the catalog. So what is a subscription? Subscriptions allow you to deliver on-demand, self-paced training to your users through a set of courses. And then that user can take and retake those courses for an unlimited number of times within a limited time period. So what does that mean, really? You'll go in and you'll create a subscription, and that subscription profile is then determines what courses are used, who the subscription is available to, and what time period that subscription is set up for. And that subscription then becomes a template for every user that you assign a subscription to. So when that assignment is made to the user, they can take any of the courses that you've set up in that subscription as many times as they want at any time that they want to, as long as their subscription is still active based on that time period that you've set up. Let's take a look at billing. Always very important. You're not billed when you create a subscription profile. You're not billed when you create assignments for that subscription. And we also have training keys available for subscriptions, and you're not billed if you create training keys or even send them out to people and they redeem them. You are billed when a user starts a course assignment. You might have a subscription that has 50 courses in it. If the user only starts 5 of those courses, you'll only be billed for 5 course assignments. If they take all 50, you would be billed for all 50. What you do need to be aware of when you're looking at creating a subscription profile and the courses that are going to be in that is how long each course assignment is available to a user from each course, so that you can set up how much your pricing is going to be based on how many times they could actually start that course assignment. So for us, most of our courses are available as a course assignment for 180 days. So if I set up a subscription profile and I made it available to my assignees or my subscriptions for 180 days, I know that all those courses could only be started once and I could only be billed once for them. But if I set up my subscription profile for a year, 365 days, and my courses will create a course assignment for 180 days, my user could start ABC course on day 1. It expires in 6 months. They decide they want to go back and look at that ABC course again at month 8. So you're going to be billed twice, once on the first day and once on month 8 for that. So you just need to know how many times a person can take the courses and price your subscription accordingly. So the whole process begins with you creating a subscription profile. And this is where you determine what courses are in it and how long that your subscription assignments will have access to it. Along with this profile, you can choose to create learning paths, and you can choose to create catalog filters within the subscription. But once your profile is made, you can start assigning it to users. And you can assign it to users in 3 ways. One is just directly to an individual. Another way you can do it is to select multiple individuals and the subscription profile that you want them all to have. And then the third way you can do it is through training keys. And training keys are a unique code that you would hand out to individuals, and it will assign the subscription to them. But you can also have it set up so that they can self-register and create their own user account at the same time. So training keys kind of end up doing a lot of your administration for you. Once the person has been assigned their subscription, they can open the on-demand catalog. From there, they can select a course, multiple courses. They can select any course at any time and take it as many times as they want. And once they select a course, it's going to create a course assignment for them automatically. And that is the billable event. And after that course assignment is created, they can immediately begin taking self-paced training. Let me switch screens and start demoing to you. So we want to first take a look at what that subscription assignment looks like, and then we're going to go back and build it all out so that you can see how we got there, got all the pieces in place for it. So if I'm a student and I have a subscription assigned to me, it's going to show up on my current training page, just like any other training I take, like a class or a course assignment. And it's going to show right down here on demand as my subscription profile. This is my webinar that I've assigned to the student, and it shows my start and expiration date because I only have access to this for a limited amount of time, 180 days. So I'm going to open that subscription webinar. Okay, so it opens my subscription assignment, and each one of these tiles is a different course that is available for me to take. Some of the information on the course tiles, you can set up things like this new icon to show when you create a new course from your organization profile. The featured is set up on the course profile. The image as well is set up on the course profile. And you're also pulling things like the name, presenters, and each of these icons is a different activity that is set up in the course. And the description as well comes from the course profile. So if I decide I want to take this course, I can click on Start, and that will create a course assignment for me, which is that billable event. And I can start the training, I can open up any of the activities and begin taking them right now. Let's go back to that course catalog. So any of these courses I can take, I can bookmark them with this little star. When it's black, it is showing that it's bookmarked. When it's empty, it is not. And your bookmarks can be opened from here, right on the bookmarks link. That gives me a fast way to find any of the courses that I was interested in but not ready to take. And you can also get to bookmarks from your current training page. So two of the optional pieces are learning paths and filters. Let's take a look at the learning paths. I've only set one up for this subscription. Again, on the learning path, you can add an image. When you hover over it, it gives you some description if you have it set up that way. And when you view a path, it's going to show you a set of courses. So what is a learning path? In your subscription, there can be a lot of courses, and your student or user might not know where to begin. Learning path is a way for you to give them a group of courses that are on a topic, and you set them up in a list to allow them to grow their knowledge and their competency in that topic as they move through it. They are not, however, required to take the courses in the order that you've put them there. So this empty one is a course that I haven't started. This one is a course that I did start, and this is one that I did complete. Each one of these gray area is a course, and by clicking on it, I will again create a course assignment for myself that I can start at any time. To my learning path. The learning path also has a little progress bar for you, so you can see how many items are completed out of the total course. Let's go back to that course catalog again. And another option I can add are filters. So filters are created from course tag groups and course tags. And the course tag group name becomes the heading for the filters. And then each filter underneath is a separate course tag. You can set up individual filters. And once I have set up my course tag, I have to tag the course that I want to appear in the search results with that course tag. I can also set up dependencies within the course tags. So for most of these, I'll just click on it and it will filter for that course. But when I click on how easy is it, I have filters that are dependent on that course tag, on that filter. They don't show up until it is selected. And I can add another filter group in there and find other courses that are in there. So you can set up dependencies as many as you want, all the way down if that is something you would like to have in here. That is the student experience of seeing the courses, opening courses, viewing a learning path, using a learning path, and filtering options that we have set up. Now, I want to look at the pieces that we need to have in place in order to build the subscription. And the first piece that we have to have is everything depends upon the subscription profile. And as I was saying before, this is like a template that each assignment is created from. And this is what locks down everything for your users when they're assigned it. You're going to name the subscription. It can be anything you want. You don't have to put in a short name. The description only shows to your staff, administrators who can see this. So you could put in information about how the subscription is used, who it is allowed to be assigned to if you have it set to a certain organization that bought it. You can put in keywords for search from Find Subscription Profiles. Your organization is going to default to whatever organization is set on your user profile. That can be changed if you have multiple organizations, but availability is what is going to determine what organizations are allowed to use it. For program, you're always going to choose training, and that is because the permissions that your roles need are set up in the training program. For duration, this is the amount of time that your users will have access to the subscription once it's been assigned to them. So I put in 180 days. You can put in, 60 days, 365 days, or anything that you like. The price is not used for billing. This is your own field to put in a suggested price or to let your own staff know what you're charging for it. As long as the subscription is enabled, it can be assigned to users. But disabling it does not take away access for existing users. If yesterday I got assigned this subscription for 180 days and you today decided to disable it, I would still have 179 days left on my availability for the subscription. It just makes it so that you cannot assign it to new users. The enabled on-demand course access, having this turned on, is what gives you this view of the courses for your users. So they see the tiles, they see the filters, and they have the tiles for the learning paths as well. If you disable that, it ends up being what our other find pages look like. So it would have the subscription, and if you hit search, it would show a list of courses, and they would select that course from the list. So it's not as pretty if you use that, if you disable it. Prevent membership expiration editing by outside organizations is only if you're really giving availability to organizations on the outside, and that would limit them from being able to set the expiration on assignments or change it. HTML description really doesn't apply over here. We're going to jump over to courses. So this is where you set up all the courses that you want to have in the subscription. And I have a bunch set up. You can add course here and use the course chooser to add more courses, as many as you wish. And you can select or remove whichever ones you want. And they would be added if I hit OK to the bottom of the listing. If I am editing, I can also remove courses from the listing here. Then whatever you do, adding or removing courses, it happens to everyone who has a subscription. The existing users' courses are updated, as well as any new user you would assign it to in the future. Whatever you do here takes place in real time for everybody. Course tag groups are how you set up your filters. So I have event type as a course tag group, and it is one of my filter groups. I have difficulty rating, and that's another one of my filter groups. So I can add these here to determine what filters I'm using in my subscription, and we'll look at how to set up course tags and course tag groups later. And then availability determines which organizations can see your subscription. Administrators within that organization would then be able to assign those subscriptions. If you're using subscription training keys, you must have availability set here for the organization that the users redeeming the key come from. If the availability isn't set up for the organization that they're logging in on, they will get that the key is invalid. You'll want to set up availability for that. So that is the beginning and end of your subscription profile and how you're setting up access for every subscription you create. So then you can create subscription assignments. Oops, I wanted to go back here. So then I can create my subscription assignments or my training keys, and I'll show you where we'll get to the multiple subscriptions in a second. To create a subscription for an individual, I would click on that. I choose my student. I opened it from the subscription profile, so it automatically filled that in. It's taking the 180 days and it's filling it and giving my expiration, which I can't change, but I can change the start. If I move my start, it also is going to move my expiration. If you want, you can set up a target completion. That's pretty much a, hey, try to hit this by this date kind of thing, and it's not a necessary or required field. You can also add notes onto the subscription that shows to administrators, not to students. To create multiple subscriptions from one subscription profile, you can come to the Find Subscriptions search page, and that is actually on the subscription tile on Site Administration, and it's called Assigned Subscriptions. But you can create multiple subscriptions from here, and this opens up to the students page, and you're going to go in and choose students, and you can choose as many students as you want and remove them if you prefer. And once you hit OK, all of those students are going to be chosen. When you go to basic information, you'll choose your profile, and you'll be able to save that and create all of those subscriptions for those users. The final way that you can create subscription assignments for people is to create subscription keys, and that is available here on the subscription profile, or it is available from Site Administration as well. You would choose your subscription profile. You'll go into training keys. You'll generate however many keys you want and hit OK. Then you're going to save it. You'll be able to assign those keys to users. And once you give those keys out, oh, I didn't do a profile, so it's not going to let me do it. Ha! Yeah, save. Okay. I can take a key from here, and as a user, if you have your page set up for this, I can register with the training key, then input my user information, and hit save. And I've created a user account. Oops, you've already been redeemed. If it's a valid key, it would take me straight into my subscription profile. Let's move on to, so we've seen how to create a subscription profile and how you might successfully set up assignments for users. Then we have a couple of optional items like the learning path and the filters. Let's take a look at learning paths. So when I create a learning path, I am looking for a set of courses on a topic that I want users to be able to open up and build their knowledge and give them some direction on what courses to take and in what order. To create a learning path, I'm going to put in the learning path name. When I put a description in this field, it actually shows when I hover over the tile. The profile image is stored at a storage location. We have it ours in a blob. When you put in the URL for it, it's going to draw that image in. I'm going to choose an audience level. This is beginner, shows on the tile as well. And as long as it's enabled, it'll be usable by our users. When I open the path, the HTML description is actually the description that shows here on the side panel. You can put in an HTML footer, which would show underneath the path links, and it can be a custom description for you down there. Subscription profiles you can add into the learning paths. I have added it into my subscription webinar, and I could add it to other subscriptions if it applies with the courses that are there. When I add courses, these are going to be the courses that appear in the path. And of course, I can add more courses, and when I added, it showed at the bottom of the course list, and I can just drag and drop to rearrange these and put them in any order that I want them in. And that determines the order they're going to appear over here. Okie dokie. Once you save the learning path, it automatically is added into your subscription with the tile and the path all built up for you. So that's all you have to do to create your learning path and add it into your subscription. Now the filters. The filters are a little bit of work. We're going to be looking at creating the course tag group that creates the filter header, and then each of the tags that create the actual filtered items. Then we're going to look at enabling that filter on the course so that it becomes a search result when it's selected. Course tags, I always have trouble finding this, and it's right on the courses tile. It's called course tags. When you open that page, you have two selections, either find course tags or find course tag groups. You can start either way, and then you can build your course tags and then build your group and add the tags, or you can build your group and then create the tags and add the group to the tags. Either way, you can do it. I'm going to start with a course tag. Each and every one of these, like the 200 getting started, apparently I rearranged these, 100 introduction, 300 deep dive, the how easy is it, and each one under this how easy is it is a separate course tag. I'm going to choose the can do it with your eyes closed tag, and we're going to take a quick look at it. So when I create this, I'm going to add the title into it. It's going to default to my organization as long as it's enabled. It can be used. Then I can, if I have the group created already, I can add my course tag group. So course tag group is difficulty rating. And for most of these, like the 200, 100, 300, and all of these webinar demo courses, that is all you're going to do to create the tag. If you want it to be a subgroup under another tag, then you're going to add a dependency. And I want it to show under how easy is it. So I added how easy is it. It's dependent on how easy is it in order to show. So that is setting up my course tag just as a tag filter or as a dependency on another filter. So let's take a look at what you do for a course tag group. For a course tag group, we're going to name it again, the organization. You can select the sort order here on where these actually appear. I have it at 3. If I change it to 1 and save, I will update my filters. So difficulty ratings on top now, and event type is on the bottom. And if I edit again, it actually goes all the way into negative. So if you actually had something starting at 1, then you could actually go back further and start it ahead of that. Enabled, again, it's usable because it's enabled. Expanded, this is what controls whether these filter groups are expanded or collapsed when the user first comes onto the page. So if you uncheck it, they're going to be collapsed. If you have it checked, it's going to be expanded and showing all of the filters underneath it. Mutually exclusive, if you have this checked, then only one item can be filtered by in any group at a time. So I don't have it checked. I can select multiple filters. And if you are using dependencies, you want to make sure you don't check it because you have to be able to select 2 at a time in order to use a dependency, or multiple to use dependencies. Mutually exclusive will only allow you to check 1 item at a time. Then on tags, I can from my course tag group add tags as well. I can choose to have it sort alphabetically, or if I uncheck it, I can move around all of my tags and have them display in the order I want them to be displayed in. And that's important if you do have dependencies, because you probably don't want them showing up all over the place. You want them showing up underneath the tag they're dependent on. And then I can also set on the course tag group what subscription profiles the course tag groups are going to show on. And that will set up my filters and be aligned to a subscription. The last piece of this is really to set the course tag on the course so that it will find it when I set up my filters. But I'm going to take a really short detour, and I'm going to take a look at the organization profile. And the reason for this is when you're creating your own courses, you can actually set up default course tag groups. And when you set these default course tag groups up, every one of these that I have set will show on all of the courses that are created with my organization. So they're available for a course catalog or for your subscription catalog, and you can have them show on your course. So if you have these set up, when I go to my course, my assessment demonstration course, and I edit it, and I open the tag tab, all of those different course tag groups are showing. All of their course tags underneath them are showing. So I can select which filters will apply for my course. If I don't have those selected, I have to come down here and search for all the tags. It's a convenience to have it set up on your organization. Once you do have all of them set up, you can filter by all and you get your happy course to open when you've found it. My goodness, that is subscriptions with all of its benefits like learning paths and filters and how to assign them to people. Some resources available for you. If you go to our documentation at https://lods.1/documentation under our administrator role, and in the group of self-paced learning and subscriptions, you'll find documentation on the stuff I presented today. I want to thank you for coming to our webinar today